back to my channel. So today we're just doing a chit chat video, and yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And let's get into the video. I met this guy in October last year, 2020, and we were introduced at a birthday barbecue which we were both invited to, and I actually noticed him from a distance, and I hinted to one of the girls who was at the party, and I was like, that guy is cute. And she was like, oh yeah, that's my cousin, let me introduce you guys. So yeah, that's how we were introduced. And yeah, we talked for a while, exchanged numbers, and he seemed like a pretty interesting guy. And so from there we just kept on communicating. So there were a few red flags that were shown to me, revealed to me right from the beginning, and it didn't really seem like much at that time, but he wasn't the one. From the birthday barbecue, we kept on communicating, and so 2 days later we set a date to meet, and this guy actually ghosted me. When the day came for us to meet, he did text me in the morning and he was like, okay, you know what, let's move this to another time, like a later time during that day, because he said something had come up, and I was understanding, and then I was like, okay, sure, and kept on communicating right up until the time he was supposed to come pick me up, and he never showed up. No text, no call, no nothing, and I brushed it off. Of course it did bother me because I even dressed up, but I was just like, you know what, whatever. I never texted him. So a week later he texted me, and he was like, no, like too many excuses. But then I was just like, okay, this guy is cute, seems like a nice guy, let me just give him a chance, see where this may lead, or not lead. But anyway, we kept on talking, and 2 weeks later my mom passed away. So at that time I had mentioned it to him, and again he ghosted me. But also it was just someone I just recently knew, so I didn't expect like emotional support from him or anything like that, and it made sense. So 2 weeks passed, never heard from him, and a week later, so that was like 3 weeks later, I heard from him, and he was like, no, I lost my mom as well, so I didn't want to, like, I know how that felt, and I just wanted to give you some time to yourself and just process everything that was going. After that we kept on talking and talking right until New Year's Eve. That was the second time I met, like first time I met him, from the time I met him at the birthday barbecue, we were introduced that. So yeah, we went out, him, myself, and a bunch of friends that we all knew. So we all went out. There was like a New Year's countdown like that we all went to, and it was pretty fun. We hung out, we talked for a while, and after the countdown we just decided to like hang out some more. And of course I did tell everybody home that I would come back home late, so we hung out for a long while. He was bringing me back home, so we drove everybody off, and I was the last one to be dropped off, and that was around 4 a.m. and he was sweet enough to like bring me home safe and sound. And right before he dropped me off, he suggested that I spend the rest of the morning at his place, and he would drop me off later during the day. And I declined his offer, and I was just like, no, I think I'll be fine, I'll be comfortable being in my own bed and sleeping at my place. So that's how he dropped me off, and he was a pretty good, like, he was a pretty gentleman. He walked me to my front door, and that's how he left. And from there we kept on talking and talking and talking, and still things seemed pretty serious between us at that point, because I talked about relationships, like our standards for like who to date, what you expect in relationships and all that. So yeah, and it felt like we were on the same page until this one time he asked me, like, if we did date, what are the things I would want to expect from him. And I told him about it, and I asked him the same thing, and it felt like we were on the same page about it. But then he was like, no, at this moment I don't want to date, but I like you. But what do you think about being friends with benefits? And for a moment I froze, because I got not really attached, but I started liking this guy, and it just felt off. Like, we've been talking for a while and you only see me as a friend with benefit. I felt that was disrespectful, honestly. But yeah, so I explained, like, I understand how you feel, but that's not something for me. And I was like, okay, cool. It felt like we had like a general understanding about it. Like, after I explained my point of view for why I didn't want such kind of relationship, and he was like, okay, cool, I respect you. And that's how we kept on, like, we went on our conversation, like how we communicated as per usual. It didn't feel off at all, in my opinion. Like, we kept on talking for like a week until he just ghosted, and we never spoke from then. For me, I feel like that was a positive, if I'm being honest, because I remember when I started noticing that I was getting attached, I prayed about it. And like, maybe it was just me being stubborn, like, like cute guy, trying to just convince myself that maybe he could be the one. But honestly, there were so many red flags that this guy just showed, and God was just trying to show me that this is not it, this is not the one. Emotionally, I feel like we connected, and maybe I was just trying to find like some sort of comfort, I would say. And I feel like he also wanted to like use my vulnerability, like to just prey on it. But honestly, God just saved me from that. And from that time we've never spoken. And yeah, that is the story. I remember having this conversation with my friend the next day after I talked to this guy, and I thought about it, and the advice she gave me wasn't the advice I was really looking for. And I thought like she knew me better, and her response was like, you know what, you should give this guy a chance and see how this is going. And the first thing I just said to her was like, thank you for your advice, but that's not the type of relationship that I'm looking for. Honestly, to me it just feels like desperation. And I told her that I may be single, but I'm not desperate, and I have standards for the kind of relationship that I want, and this just throws it off. And to me that felt like I would be lowering my standards. So there was so much room for uncertainty with this guy. There was so many red flags, and at that point I just felt like this is going nowhere. I mean, signs were there, but it wasn't going nowhere. But I don't know why I just kept on pushing it. But thankfully it didn't work out. Thankfully we never spoke again. And this process has made me intentional with who I talk to, like who I give my time and attention to. And for like, I met somebody else after this guy, and it was the same thing. Not like he ghosted me, but it was just like it felt off. And I realized that, you know what, I'll just wait for my one. I don't need this, not drama, but like, this unnecessary process. And yeah, that's it. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked this random story. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.